Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Mandy and this is my Mandy Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to work on just a little bit of movement in our chair and we're going to come to standing today. So you'll just need a chair. A mat would be good just to have some kind of nice sticky surface so that your feet don't slip. I recommend this one without socks on, just again for a little bit more extra traction. And we'll start in our chair just kind of towards the end of our seat. So we don't want to be close to the back of the seat. We don't want to lean back. We want to sit up nice and tall. Find your feet about hip width apart. Find knees and ankles nice and stacked. And we'll just start first with just finding some stillness, maybe allowing your palms to rest to the tops of your thighs. And just checking in with your breath here. And just kind of notice how your breath feels in your body. If you feel it's coming with ease, or if it feels a little bit more of a challenge. We'll slowly start to just find our eyes open, soft gaze. And we'll start some simple cat-cow movements, but we're going to start this movement first with tilting our pelvis forward and back. You can bring palms down to the tops of your legs, wherever's comfortable, and you can just kind of adjust it as needed. So it's mostly just shifting your pelvis forward and back. And this is kind of to initiate what we'll be doing with our cat-cow movements, but we just kind of start here. So you can kind of notice as you're moving through, you might be exaggerating this movement a little bit more as you shift along, and that's good. The next time you start to come a little bit more forward, show your heart forward. And when you start to shift back, start to stack your shoulders over your hips best you can, and then we just continue. So we inhale, we open our heart. Exhale, we bring chest down towards our hips. And we just continue. So we inhale, we shift forward. Exhale, we round. So you can tuck your chin here. Inhale, we lengthen, open your chest. Your heart on your exhale. We find the roundness in our spine. Chest down towards hips. We just continue back and forth. Soft gaze, closed eyes, whatever you prefer here. We'll just do one more round. And when you're finished, we'll make our way up nice and tall. From here, we'll just find a little forward fold. So we'll hinge at our hips and lead with our chest. We hinge forward. If you need to part your knees or your feet a little further to create more space for the body, I highly recommend it. And we just find length where we can. And you can relax down here when you're ready. And slowly we start to inch our way up. You can kind of walk your hands up, draw your belly muscles in just for some little added support here. And once you're all the way up, we'll start some gait movement. So we started with cat-cow, next we'll do gait. And in this one, we'll just start to find ourselves lengthening left fingertips up, and we create this space in the side of our body from our bottom set of ribs to our hips. And use right hand for support. That can be to your chair, top of your thigh, whichever you prefer. And then we'll switch. So we'll lengthen and switch and reach up. And exhale. We'll just keep going. We'll just keep switching out. And you can find just this Nice length here. You can get more into it as we continue to go. And it's not about how fast you get through it. I really encourage you find that amount of space and time that feels good for you, that you feel you can move with your breath. We'll just do one more here, and we'll make our way back down. So from here, we'll find just a simple seated twist, and we'll just start first. We're going to lead our twist with our heart. So we're just going to slowly turn so that we'll find our heart. So it's just my chest that's leading me here. So my feet stay nice and planted. I slowly look over my left shoulder. Hands for support wherever's comfortable. This right hand sometimes wants to be here at the thigh and kind of press into it. Try not to let that right hand tell you who's boss. You show them. Just be nice and relaxed here and just kind of enjoy your twist. Hand can come behind you if that's more comfortable. And then kind of look a little bit more over the shoulder. We'll start to make our way forward. Lead with your chest to come forward. Head and neck is the last to come forward. So we're just right back to where we began, and we'll do the same thing. So we just start to lead with our chest over towards our right side. Hands for support wherever's comfortable. And even if you have just hands to the back of your chair, or sometimes if you can find a place to grasp your seat, that's a perfect option. And then when you're ready, looking over your right shoulder. And slowly we'll start to come forward. So lead with your chest to come forward, head and neck last. And once you're here, let's part the feet a little bit. We'll exhale, hinge at your hips, lead with your chest, we hinge forward. And we can relax down here. If you prefer to be more upright, that's perfect too. And slowly we'll start to inch our way up. Take your time, no rush. Belly strong, press into your feet a little bit here. We'll find our feet kind of coming in, but they don't have to go all the way into hip width apart. You decide. And we'll just find a little bit of movement with breath before we go to standing. So when you're ready, we'll just slowly bring our arms out wide. And then on our exhale, we'll bring the hands closer in. We'll just keep doing this a few times. So we inhale, we really lengthen, really open up. Exhale, we bring the hands closer in. So it's almost like we have this ball in our hand, and when we breathe, we take our breath out, we're blowing up the ball. So we make it real big. It's like we're still holding it. On your exhale, we're kind of squeezing the air out, but don't press in your ball too much. On the inhale, we shift open. Exhale, we bring our hands closer in. We'll do just a couple more. We inhale, we lengthen. You can kind of open your heart a little bit. Try not to bring your head too far back. Kind of keep your gaze at the horizon. Exhale, we bring hands in. You can kind of pause if you feel good here. If it feels exceptionally nice. Just continuing. And this next one, so we inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we bring the hands closer in. Bring the hands all the way together. And then we'll exhale, swan dive forward. So inhale up, hands to shins, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale up, straight spine. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Then we'll slowly find hands to shins. We'll find that inhale, straight spine. And then draw belly muscles in. We'll just continue to come up nice and tall. And once you're all the way up, we'll start to bring our feet in. We'll start to prepare ourselves for standing. So we'll use our strong feet and legs. We'll come to stand and we'll pause here. Just kind of checking in here for a moment. And we'll bring our chair up towards the top part of our mat with the back facing you for just a moment. And we'll just find our hands to the tops of our chair. And I kind of have like kind of dainty fingers here because I kind of want to be able to kind of grip my chair a little bit in just a moment. So I kind of have my fingers a little bit further forward. Walk your feet back until you feel like your heels and your buttocks are nice and even and you have a nice straight back soften into your knees. That means a little bend in your knees. Slowly start to come up, walking your feet forward kind of at the same time so that it's all working together. We'll take from here our chair and we'll bring it to the side so that we have the back of our chair facing us so that we have it for some support. And we'll use, so I'm going to kind of shift mine up just a little bit, but not much, just so that I have my chair for a nice support. And we'll have our feet right at hip width apart at the top of our mat. And once here, kind of check in, softness in your knees again. If you want to look down at your feet to make sure that they look nice and parallel. And think about these two hip points. So you can kind of bring your hands to these two hip points. And then that bend in your knees. Then one hand to your chair if you need. Right foot takes a big step back. Back foot goes to a 45-degree angle. You're warrior one. So we're nice and strong into our feet. Active into our legs even. So you kind of start to build strength from the roots up. So strong into your feet, strong into your legs. And if you feel good here, we're going to continue this strength. So we'll go to kind of squeezing, drawing belly muscles in and kind of drawing up pelvic floor. You can extend arms up overhead here if you'd like. So one hand can always be at your chair if you need to. Just find your powerful pose. So although it's just standing here with our legs parted, we can take this pose and make it really powerful just by using strength. And lots of breath here. And we'll slowly start to bring our arms down. And then from here, we'll start to take our right foot and just bring it back forward. So right back to where we started, still our hip points are facing forward. And when you're ready, same thing, left side though this time. Left foot takes a big step back, back foot to the 45-degree angle, front knee and ankle nice and stacked. Use your chair for support until you find that good position for you here. And once you feel sturdy and strong, you can start to get real strong into your feet, into your legs, into your belly, and just continue to kind of stack and work these muscle groups together until you can extend your arms up overhead. So one hand to your chair, always a good option here. We always want to have good balance. And if that gives you the stability you need, I encourage it. And we'll slowly start to bring arms down. Arm can come down to your chair if you'd like. And then when you're ready, left foot will step all the way forward. Pause here for a moment. Kind of shake out your feet. Sometimes I like to roll up from my heels to toes just to kind of work things out if you feel a little tight or stiff. And then we'll turn so that we'll bring our feet nice and wide. So kind of a wider stance, a little bit more than our normal, what we think of as a wide stance, but we want to give ourselves lots of space because we'll need this space to move into our next pose, and I'll kind of walk you through as we shift. So right toes to begin are going to step out, so completely out towards the top part of your mat. And then your left toes come in 45 degrees. Then when you get here, you feel good, start to bend into your front knee. So if your front knee is kind of instinctively going far forward, maybe walk your front foot forward a little bit more. Or if maybe that gets you too far from your chair, walk your back foot back. And we just find from here just our nice strong stance. So when you get that good position, kind of check in. If you look down, you might see your big toe to the side of your front bent knee. That's to kind of tell you you've got a good stance here, that you're in the right place. And we're nice and strong into our feet and into our legs. And I always think of this pose as a little bit of a hip opener. So you can kind of open up into the hips by kind of drawing the thighs open here. And then when you're ready, extending arms into a T position. And you can gaze at the middle finger of your front hand. We want to think about center of wrist, center of shoulder best we can. So it doesn't have to look perfect, but we just don't want our arms up here or down here. We want them right here in the middle. Couple of breaths here. Just kind of gazing at your middle finger. Then back hand can relax down if you'd like a little bit more work. Front hand extends up. Chair's here if you need it. Exhale back down. Do this a couple of times. If you want left hand to your chair, inhale, extend right fingertips up. Exhale, shift back down. One more time. If you don't want to look at your hand, don't feel obligated to. Just look straight forward. Extend right fingertips up. We'll exhale, bring ourselves back down. So one more thing before we shift forward or shift into the opposite side. So then we'll start to reach right fingertips forward, bend our arm at our elbow, bring it down to the top of the thigh. So you'll see that everything is really stacked here. So I'm not going to come forward, I'm extending here in the side of my body. So I'm not trying to accomplish anything. If you're not quite able to bring this forearm down, just bring it to hand to the top of your thigh. Bend your elbow as much as needed. And we just create this space. So we want to feel like we're open, we're not collapsing. We want to feel open in our pose, strong into our feet. Hand to your chair if you'd like, or you can extend left fingertips. If that's too much, just bring hand back down to your chair once more. We'll start to get real strong into our feet and legs. We'll slowly make our way up. Once you're all the way up, we'll turn our right toes in. We'll find a little variation of our downward dog here, but we'll keep our feet nice and wide. We'll just slowly hinge at our hips and lead with our chest hinge forward. If your chair is right here in your way and you want to lower down further, shift your chair a little bit more in front of you and relax down. Hands for support to your chair. Bend in your knee is perfect here. And we'll use our chair for support to kind of walk up, belly gets strong, press into your feet, move your chair back where it was. So it's there for you when you need it. Now our right toes are going to turn a little bit in, a little 45-degree angle. Left toes will point completely out. So your feet should be in a good position since we've already done it on the other side. If you need to lengthen your stance a little though, feel free. Front knee and ankle nice and stacked, front bent knee. You can kind of open here into the inner thighs. That's just going to draw the space open a little bit here. And you can lengthen arms into a T position when you're ready. Again, hand to your chair at any time you need to. I would choose the right hand just because we're going to do a lot with the left. When you're ready, front hand reaches up, back hand reaches down, or you can bring hand to your chair. Exhale, we'll bring your hand back down. Repeat that again. So we inhale, we shift up. Exhale, we shift down. And one more time with our breath. On the inhale, we shift up. Exhale, we bring our way all the way down, back to where we started. So nice and strong and sturdy into our feet and into our legs. We'll start to reach left fingertips forward, bend our arm at the elbow, bring it down to the top of our thigh, and we can find our side angle here. So we're creating this perfect angle here from our heel all the way up to the crown of our head. You can bring hand to your chair here, or you can kind of play with extending right fingertips up. Strong into your feet. Don't forget your back foot here. Be strong there. And if that throws your balance off, check in with your chair. Come back. We'll bring our hand to our chair. Bring your belly muscles in. Draw them in. Press into your feet. Come all the way up. Turn your left toes in. We'll heel toe our stance inward just a little bit. And we'll find our downward dog variation again. So I'm going to shift my chair forward a little bit. Bring my feet all the way back to hip width apart. Kind of have my little dainty fingers. And then walk my feet back until I feel like my hips and my heels are nice and stacked. A little softness in knees will help here. And we'll slowly start to make our way up. We'll slowly walk our feet back forward. We'll pause here. Anytime we have our head low, we give ourselves just a moment. So we'll do one more pose together. So I'm going to shift my chair closer in again. And you can use your chair for this pose. I like using a wall, but whichever's perfect. We just need to use something that's going to have some nice support for us. And I'm going to start with my right hand close to my wall to begin. And some say that being on your mat can kind of throw off your balance in this situation, and you're not going to your feet aren't going to shift with this one, so the stickiness isn't necessary. So if you need to step off of your mat for this, this might actually help your balance. And I like to bring my hand to the wall. You can always bring the back of your hand to the wall if you'd like. It just really doesn't matter. It's your preference. And then we'll start with our right foot. We're going to find the mound behind our big toe first, then the outside edge of the heel. So start by letting those two places really ground, and then let the rest of your foot settle. And then we'll start to find our left foot in that position that feels good for us. So keep using this wall, but make sure that you're not leaning into it. We want to make sure that we're standing up nice and straight. So give yourself plenty of space. And then we have our heel into the side of our leg, and also maybe your big toe still rests. If you would like, you can kind of play with the next level, which is to bring the foot into the inner part of the calf. It's kind of right between the calf and shin. It feels like I'm touching my calf. So then from here, we just find our way tall, and you decide. So again, we don't want to feel like we're touching the wall with anything but our hand, because our hand will allow us to keep ourselves nice and stacked, which is really what we want here. We want to feel sturdy and stacked. You can bring hands in front of your heart if you'd like. And just really checking in with your breath here, your height as well. Maybe finding something to gaze at, something not moving. Just a few breaths here. And we'll slowly start to make our way down. So use your wall for support. Once you're here, you can kind of shake out your feet as you see fit. And we'll turn around so that we're going to that opposite side. Same thing here. So again, if you want to be off of your mat, real important, it might be helpful for your balance. And we'll pick up the left foot. We find the mound behind our big toe, the outside edge of our heel. And then we let the rest of our foot settle in, and we pick up our right foot for that desired position. It can go anywhere along this leg as long as you don't feel like it's right on your knee, because that's too much pressure on our knees here. And just find a spot to gaze at. something not moving, and just kind of focus here on your breath. And we'll slowly start to bring our hand back to the wall just so we have added support. Once you're here, we'll just roll up from heels to toes or shake out the feet, whatever you prefer. We'll find our chair again. We'll bring our chair back so that we have our chair that we can sit in it. And we just find our way from here to our forward folds. We'll part the knees for this one, and our toes and knees are kind of pointed in the same direction. When you're ready, this exhale, we hinge at our hips and lead with our chest. We hinge forward. And press into your feet, draw your belly muscles in. We slowly make our way up nice and tall. And once you're all the way up, let's bring our feet back in once more. Let's do one more little easy twist. So when you're ready, we'll just slowly start to guide with our heart. So again, we're going to just show our heart and just bring our heart over towards our left side. We'll exhale, we'll bring ourselves back forward. Head and neck comes last. We'll go over to the right side when you're ready. So when you're ready, guiding with your heart, we slowly shift over and slowly shift back forward. Head and neck comes last. This time we'll stay in our pose. When you're ready, we'll slowly make our way over towards our left side. Hands for support, looking over your left shoulder. And slowly we'll make our way back forward nice and slow. Once you're here, pause. One breath here. And slowly leading with your heart, we make our way over. Looking over your right shoulder. And slowly we'll start to make our way back forward. Head and neck comes around last. We'll find another forward fold. We exhale, we hinge, we relax down. In this inhale, we make our way up, kind of press into your feet, belly strong. Come a little forward onto your chair, lengthen your legs long out in front of you. And this one, our heels are really kind of planted down towards the floor. And you may have to come a little forward onto your chair. Make sure that you don't feel you're going to slide off. And when you're ready, we'll hinge at our hips and lead with our chest one more time. Bend in your knees is always okay here. And slowly we'll start to make our way up nice and tall. We'll start to bring our feet back in. And we just kind of check in whenever we've kind of completed our practice, just to kind of notice what's different from whenever we first sat here today on our chair. And just know that these changes, that you've created them, you did this. So thank your body for the work that it does, but don't forget to thank yourself for taking this time to nourish your body, your spine. I thank you very much for joining me. I always enjoy it. Thank you.